On the outskirts of Springfield, Ohio, lies an ailing DeBartolo original, the Upper Valley Mall. The current developers have a plan for this mall, but for all intents and purposes, let's get a look at this mall before redevelopment ultimately transforms this brick DeBartolo beauty.
Oh, and by the way, surprise guest, Reed.
Upper Valley Mall was constructed and opened in 1971 by the Edward J. DeBartolo Corporation with the following anchors: Sears, JCPenney, Rike's, and Woolworth. The mall also had a rare Wren's, Liberal Market, Revco Pharmacy, and even a cinema as junior anchors. Early on, Rike's department store was merged with Shiloto's, becoming Shiloto Rike's. This merger didn't last very long before it became merged with Federated Department Stores, being rebranded under the Lazarus division. The Wren space, along with its parent store in downtown Springfield, would be acquired by William H. Block and be rebranded into Block's. Block's had particular trouble in Springfield, Ohio, and would not do very well. When Block's was acquired by Lazarus, Lazarus would utilize the space at Upper Valley Mall as an auxiliary store, while the original downtown Wren's was closed down, Lazarus not looking to operate two locations in Springfield. In 1992, Woolworth's would close down, but would become home to Elder Beerman. Meanwhile, in a later date, Lazarus would do away with their auxiliary store, which would proceed to become an Old Navy. 1997 would see Revco converted into a CVS. Also in the mid-90s, the Edward J. DeBartolo Corporation would merger with Simon, and ownership of the Upper Valley Mall would be transferred to Simon Property Group. Simon seemed content with running the mall as is, and would do little to the mall aesthetically. Over the 2000s, notable changes would include Elder Beerman being acquired by Bon-Ton. The store was kept as is, and the nameplate was kept in operation. In addition, Lazarus would eventually be rebranded by Macy's. There is one junior anchor we haven't paid much mind to: Liberal Markets. There isn't a great deal of information available, but the space would have had turnover from tenant to tenant before MC Sports would take over the pad in the 2000s. We'll get into detail on what happened with Mixed Sports as well as the mall in just a few moments. The Great Recession ultimately took the Upper Valley Mall, as well as the greater region of Springfield, Ohio, by storm. With few people having disposable cash on hand, the shops present in the mall just couldn't keep up. The first major blow of the mall came in the form of Elder Beerman, which had closed due to poor sales in 2013. That same year, Old Navy, as well as Charlotte Russe, had closed down. But, that same year in March, the Boonshoft Museum of Discovery opened up a satellite museum in the mall, occupying a small space. The museum would have been geared towards children with the intent of sharing exhibits of scientific concepts and astronomy. The museum would proceed to expand into the Elder Beerman in November of that same year. In 2014, Wells Fargo filed a complaint stating that Simon Property Group would be unable to pay off the remaining $47 million on a loan taken out for the mall. Eventually, Simon would default on that loan, and the mall would be taken into receivership, management shifting over to Urban Retail Properties. The mall really began to take a dive in 2015, when Macy's and JCPenney both closed their stores in the mall, over the spring due to financial concerns. This left just Sears to continue operations in the mall, and, well, we all know Sears was in dire straits by then. The Boonshoft Museum of Discovery's satellite branch would be departing the mall in 2016, and this wouldn't help matters either. 2017 brought disaster to the mall, as Mixed Sports' parent company filed bankruptcy and put all of their stores into liquidation. In addition, the cinema, a long-standing original tenant to the mall, would cease operations. These two tenants combined would be a devastating blow to the mall. This left just Sears as the sole anchor to the mall, with CVS as a junior anchor. – 2018 would ensure that neither CVS nor Sears would last long, though, as CVS would announce their plan to move out of the Upper Valley Mall, constructing an outparcel in the lot near the mall's entrance. And finally, you knew it was coming. Sears may have held out for dear life, but Fast Eddie would ensure that it wouldn't survive come December 2018, when Sears would finally close down. This was it. The mall was anchorless. Acute anchoritis, and only a handful of tenants to keep the mall going. But early 2019 would bring forth a glimmer of hope for the mall. Clark County Land Bank, whom had bought the mall from Urban Retail in 2017, would finally announce a redevelopment plan for the Upper Valley Mall. Home Plate Sports Academy, a notable tenant in the mall, would announce plans to expand operations, demolishing the former Sears for sports fields. They also announced plans to utilize existing mall space for additional activities, including pickleball, basketball, volleyball, and even go-karts. This would be a part of a larger plan to transform the mall into a mixed-use complex with intent to bring in more restaurants, hotels, and even a movie theater. Current plans do show that a large part of the mall space will remain intact. So far, things have been relatively quiet on redevelopment. The mall continues to limp along, while the owners say they are still in negotiations. The greater region of Springfield, Ohio holds its breath and waits to see what will happen with the mall. When they had the new logo up, which was like very basic, very minimalist shit, from like mid-90s. I was present at this mall alongside Reed on Memorial Day. Some stores are likely just closed for the day, but even then, there are very few present in the mall. I could have probably counted how many people were inside the mall besides me and Reed on both hands, not including store staff. I will admit, it is rather spooky being in one of the few people in a mall. This used to be. This is a great looking mall, and I am glad to have gotten the privilege to walk the halls before redevelopment comes into full swing. Hopefully, all goes well with the project and this mall can get a new lease on life. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate this mall for the way it looks, even if it does have some problems. Before we go, let's take a quick look down the side hallway. Yeah, that hallway's a bit spooky. I feel like the T-1000 Terminator is gonna come around the corner and attack. Anyway, the time has come for us to be on our way. I do hope you guys enjoyed this tour of the Upper Valley Mall. Do drop a like on the video, or dislike. Comment about what you liked or didn't like. And if you think others should see this video, do share this video to get it out there. I am also available on Minds.com and Ko-fi.com. Links in the description below.
If I had to guess.
Until next time, this is Doomie Grunt, wishing you and the Upper Valley Mall farewell and good luck.